Hi, this is Monica Flannery, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Serenity RN. I wanted to do just a little mini video on specific essential oils. I did a recent video on a lot of people that are going through GI distress and how peppermint is a wonderful oil and it's a natural balancer. There are certain things holistically that we can find that sometimes they bring the natural balance back into our systems, and peppermint is one of those very important oils that we should have as a staple in our home. I'll be right back. I'm going to grab a peppermint oil to show you. Okay, I came back. This is my encyclopedia that I use. I guess with my nursing background, I just can't seem to get away from these thick volumes of information. But this is my go-to book when I have any kind of challenges that I may want to bring in the holistic remedies from the essential oils. And it goes into all the different properties for each oil, and it also is categorized for different health challenges. I make packages up. Sometimes not something that I really tell people, but if I know someone is, has cancer and is going through radiation and chemo, usually I'll make up a blend for them and then just pass it on to help them ease through the discomfort from the traditional therapies that are recommended. And I started this a long time ago when my husband was diagnosed with cancer, lymphoma, and we researched and we brought in so many different modalities. And like I said before, we did a layering, and we found that layering different holistic modalities really helped to strengthen back his immune system, which is vital. We need to target the cancer cells and get rid of them, but it's also equally important to add back in a supportive, many ways to support the cells so that you replace the vitality and get them back to feeling vibrant again. And this is just bringing back the natural balance in our cells. And this is what brings us back into our natural balance, right? Being whole and bringing that healing effect. So one of the main things that I recommend is the peppermint. And so I recently created a package with various ways to apply peppermint, because people have different sensitivities. So in the beginning, you might find that you're overly sensitive to peppermint. So you just use it maybe in the background until you can get used to it. A good way to start is I created well, it says peppermint here, but I created a small blend of peppermint, and it's purified filtered water with all it's through the Berkey filter, which takes out fluoride and all those other things that I don't want in my water. So highly filtered water, and then I add in drops of peppermint, and use your intuitive guide to know how much to use. So then this doesn't have anything in it, but you spray in the background, right? So it helps settle and balance and bring that balance back into the GI system. So couple good ideas to use when you're out traveling. It's good to take the spray with you, so then whenever you might feel any discomfort, you just spray and bring that balance back into, that soothing back into the GI system. So I would do this going out for meals, or sometimes food can create different, sort of like when you're pregnant too, you have different smells that can create a disturbance, right, in your GI system. So you find what foods set off triggers for you, and you stay away from them, and you find the other foods and nutrition and that support and help you find that balance of feeling back to yourself again. Okay, so you take this with you, and also I usually put pure peppermint oil in a small vial. So if you get a small vial like this, it's pure peppermint oil, and you can either diffuse it. If you have a diffuser, you can put a few drops in there, right? And whenever you're feeling discomfort, you just diffuse for a few minutes at a time, and then it'll release that peppermint. And like I said before, the peppermint works on the neurotransmitters. The neurotransmitters send messages from our brain. Our brain and our gut have connections, right? So, different smells can actually ignite triggers in our gut. So it's learning how to create the right connections to bring that balance back into our system so that we can bring in more nutrients that support our cells, because we need to get in good nutrients and get that vitality back into at the cellular base of our body and our systems. Okay, so also with the pure oil, if you drink tea, or you can add one drop, and you'll find what works for you and what's the right amount that you're comfortable with. Also, another good practice, and this is Ayurvedic, but with meals, usually you don't drink with your meals because it actually waters down the enzymes that you need to break down your food. So it's best not to have any drinks at all with your meals, so that you can have the enzymes, and they start the minute that you start smelling your food. It starts in your salivary glands, right? You start salivating, something smells good, and then it starts there, and then of course you have all the other systems that go along with that. If you are going to drink anything with your meal, it should be warm. Or after meals, it's good to have maybe just warm water with maybe a little bit of fresh lemon, and that helps settle and brings comfort into the tissues and the muscles, right, in the digestive system. So it's a great way to settle everything and to ease the digestion. You want to help things move along and do what they're supposed to do. So these are ways to ease your digestion and settle it down. Okay. The other way, because I have all different ways for, as I said, I have different plans, and this is how I do myself. I have a plan A, plan B, and plan C. So I start with a base, and then I layer. So the next layer up would be the oil, which it was a base oil, and I added just peppermint, and it's labeled, it says peppermint oil on there. And you just use a few drops like I showed in a previous video, right? And you do it gently in a clockwise direction. Start from the center in your belly button, right? Rotate clockwise, gentle. And then just make the circles larger and larger until you're massaging the whole abdomen, which includes your whole digestive system, right? And then you could just keep your hands on there. If you do any kind of energy work, put your hands on there, you start feeling warm, tingling. And bring balance to your GI system. Learning how to talk to yourselves. This is coming through, and people have known this for a long time, but quantum healing. You want to take that quantum jump. You tell yourselves what it is that you want them to do. So you direct comfort and ease, peace and ease into my cells right here, right now, as you're applying self-care, right? Learning how to adopt these nurturing rituals into our daily routine, because we're not taught this. We're taught to go, 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 right? Push through. And, this creates breakdown in our systems. So learning to have these rituals and listening to our body and knowing when to bring them in, so that we're always remembering to find that inner balance in between all our chaotic lifestyle, our activities, whatever's going on, always find a way to bring ourselves back to balance. Okay, so that's 3 levels. You start with the water spray, right? And you just breathe it in. I just breathe it in, and then I always remind my cells what it is that I want them to do. Peace and ease. And I've had this mantra for years and years and years. Peace and ease. And the more we program our mind with our cells, the faster you'll get a response. At first, it takes some work, it takes discipline, but the more you practice this, you'll release that mantra along with these different rituals, and your body will remember, oh, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do, right? Settle in, balance, comfort. Okay. So that's peppermint oil. The other oil that I usually include is Power. Okay. So Power smells like strong pepper. It strengthens the immunity and the DNA repair in the cells. It is strongly antiseptic and anti-infectious. So this is something I did probably once a week, because it's very strong and it can create strong ripples. So what I did is I would put it in a blend with base oil and just the ImmuPro and massage the feet. What's better than a nice foot massage when you're not feeling well, right? So you get so many different healing effects from this. First of all, you're feeling loved, nurtured, and comforted, which that automatically just, right? It brings that sense of relief in your body and your cells. And then it goes down into the cellular level. It stimulates your heart. When we're feeling appreciative, we're feeling gratitude, that releases endorphins, and all these things have a critical role to play in our healing. Very important. I also say to put up pictures that evoke really strong, powerful, wonderful memories, strong memories and attachment, right, in your healing area. And you create your own sacred healing area. We did this. I do this as a family, right? Create these healing areas, and there's no stress there. This is where you create your own healing environment. You can listen to music. It's your area, so you choose what it is that you want to bring into your mindset, and then it will follow into your body. Very important for healing. And also for all of us these days, it's just very, lots going on. So it's very important to have these healing rituals and start to adopt them and have them as part of our routine. Okay, so, and with the foot massage, take a lot of time and get all the toes, and I would also Google foot reflexology, So if there's specific places where you need, you need healing, whoever's doing the foot massage, and you can do this yourself, but it's much better to get someone else to do this for you, right? Target those areas and just massage, right? Not to the point where it hurts. And then if you have tender areas, you know that that's targeting probably a specific point in your body that is a weakened area. So just go gentle, but be mindful. You include the whole foot as meridians that connect to all of the vital organs in our body, all the systems, and it's another holistic way. You do the foot massage and you're creating healing in your entire body. But like I said, you need to layer, so you add other things on top of that, right? And you get the maximum effect. So I wanted to bring in the healing modalities, especially for people going through chemotherapy, especially, because there is a lot of digestive challenges along with that. So ImmuPro, I would start once a week and just see what kind of response you have. If you get a strong response, keep it to once a week, because it helps boost, right? And get that boosting power out of the cells to remind them their immune job. So you'll feel them working, but you don't want to overwork. You don't want to overtax your cells. Just give them enough oomph so that they keep their fighter response going. And these are all natural ways to remind your cells what their job is to do. And also using the mental affirmations while you're doing these different therapies. Tell yourselves what you want them to do, right? I want balance, I want peace and ease. Keep it very simple and just picture that. And another little secret in quantum healing is, it's called youthing. And my mother-in-law did this a long time ago, before this even, has come out. But she would picture herself back before the point when she was going through her treatments and before her diagnosis, back to the time when she felt the healthiest. And you tell your mind, and you just play with it, right? You play with these different ideas, because our minds are very powerful, right? They're programs. And so what kind of program do we want to embed into our mindset and bring our spiritual faith and belief to ignite that belief and embed it into the cells? So we want the highest healing, the highest and best outcome. We want peace and ease, effortless, right? And even when we're going through a struggle, I'm going to share another little story, okay? But using these practices, which I've been doing for a long time, and I keep adding, I have a whole toolbox, and I keep adding one at a time, and I perfect it, and I keep using it. The peace and ease is something that I've used for a long time, because anyone who knows me or has followed my channel, I've dealt with chronic pain for a long time. I was in a motor vehicle accident. I was rear-ended by a tractor trailer. So there's going to be challenges, and I know that. So, but I also know that I want to bring in as much ease into my body as I can. And I do it with my clothes. I mean, it's on every level. And it's become like a discipline, but to the point where I've broken out of my regimented thinking of how everything had to be in a box in a certain way, which I was very much like that. When you're a parent, you have that ideal where things have to go a certain way, and then if you have gifted children like I have, I had to learn to open up, and life teaches us that we have to go with the flow. And we have to be open to all the information that comes to us. You know, we don't control everything in your mind and how that's affecting your body. And you can reprogram that. And I know because I've done it. My clothes, they're flowy clothes, right? Because I want to bring flow into my body because I'm very restricted in my body, my neck. I have limited movement, right? So I have to be very conscious of where I sit, how I focus. You know, I'd love to be around people if that ignites me, but it's also very painful because I have ADD, so I want to look around and see everything that's going on, and then it creates a lot of pain. So we learn how to work with all these different challenges, and they don't have to bring us down and keep us in that low state of, you know, that pain can bring you. So it's finding these different levels of comfort and keep telling ourselves ease, peace and ease, peace and ease, and consciously keep reminding ourselves that we can be in peace and ease and how to be in comfort, right? Not in comfort, but to be totally within ourselves and with total acceptance, right? So when we can bring ourselves to totally accepting our body in a state of peace and ease, oh my God, it radiates and ripples out to our relationships because then we're not trying to control everything in our environment and all the people in our environment. And that ripples back into our energy field. So even if you're having chronic pain, you can bring ease, peace and ease every moment. It's just flow, learning to flow with all these changes that go on, and you know, still learning to soften into these changes that create such restriction. And so it's a process. It's a process, but I invite you to keep watching my videos and work on that mental discipline of easing the mindset. It all starts here, right? And then we bring in these different properties that work, and we layer, 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 and then we find our healing. You know, some of us at different levels than others, but always, always have to find that level of acceptance and vibrant health within our minds and acceptance. So this became a little tangent, but like I said, for people that are going through chemotherapy, I do make these blends. And so for other people that are having these challenges, you know, follow my channel, work with these different oils. If you're interested, you have specific problems, let me know and we could target